That is correct. We do use an overlay to provide multi-tenant isolation.
I know that you guys just raised some funding, which is kind of exciting. And I know, we're at the OpenStack Summit, and there's no shortage of vendors all saying they can do this, that, and the other. When you look at all these other vendors, how do you see MidoNet from a competitive standpoint, from a complementary partner ecosystem standpoint?
Oh, that's a good question. I do think that the virtual networking story has evolved quite a bit in OpenStack in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And right now, to be honest, several of the vendors are converging in the models. If you look at what's going on in the Quantum plugins, which is my window of visibility into the competitors, some of the vendors are offering similar concepts like virtual switching, virtual routing, and such. We believe we have a very complete offering because we also handle the NAT security groups, and we have L2 and L3 gateways for interfacing with the external world.
Now, how are the security groups handled? And how do you link it to policy that I may or may not already have in my ACLs, firewalls, whatever?
Well, the actual job of programming the security groups will be done through the Quantum API itself, or the EC2 API compatibility layer. So in that sense, we don't actually handle the policy per se. However, what we do is once you do put in the security group rules, those get fed into the MidoNet through the REST API into the MidoNet network state configuration and pushed out to all the agents at the edge. So at that point, when the flows come in, or existing flows, we evaluate those at the ingress, and then we drop traffic at that point. So in other words, any traffic that should not go through to the VM doesn't even get through into the network.
Now, when I think traditional networking, I would also have, some kind of WAF maybe or IPS beyond just, stateful packet. Is that part of the solution as well?
It is not. So, as you may know, part of the discussion in Quantum right now is service insertion. We may insert services like those in Quantum. Right now, we could support a certain type of service insertion already in our system. We haven't exposed that as an API through to Quantum yet because there isn't an API yet.
Sure.
But I guess security groups are not really like a real WAF. So we'll get there at some point. But I think that's the job of third-party software because we probably don't have that type of expertise.
It's not for you. Where's the Midokura play in Open Daylight? Is that something where you would just kind of watch and see what's going on, or is there something where you can participate?
I think there may be a place for us to participate, but for now we are just watching it. Frankly speaking, because we don't really know what direction they're going to go in. Is this going to be open flow controller for a network of switches? Is it going to be doing equivalent of what we're doing? I'm not sure. We don't know yet. So far, from what we've seen, it is more focused on the open flow and the hardware controlling.
Do you have any challenges when you're talking to end users, customers, prospects, trying to explain to them what the solution actually does and what it can enable?
To be honest, it's getting easier and easier. Versus 6 months or a year ago when people didn't really get the idea of what virtual networking is supposed to achieve. I think that's getting a lot easier now. Some of the challenges, I think, is that, to be honest, the educational market is a little bit confused by different messages from different vendors. Because not everyone believes in the overlay approach, to be honest. And I think that is what's giving some of the users pause before adopting this type of... In fact, overlays and VPNs are not new. It's just that they haven't been applied in this context within the data center. So there's a bit of challenge there, but I think it's getting easier quickly.
Got it. Now, I know you guys just raised 17 plus odd million. I saw you in a panel the other day where you said you didn't expect everybody, all the vendors to survive in a couple of years, and some startups might disappear. Being the leader of a company now, what steps are you going to take to make sure that you're not one of those companies that may or may not disappear?
Well, we're going to focus on the benefits to the customer, ultimately. We're not in love with any particular technology. We're not an incumbent vendor that's trying to protect an existing market. That means we have the flexibility to focus on what the actual customers need and build the solution accordingly. And at the same time, we're conservative. We're not going to go crazy with marketing and sales and ramping up until we're very sure that they're going exactly on the right path. So...
Good. And what is next? What is the path?
I've been told that I shouldn't disclose things that we haven't announced. Just in broad strokes, But in broad strokes, I think the customers really are demanding a more complete solution. So right now we handle layer 2 to layer 4. They definitely want more than that, and so we are taking steps to build services that they want on top of the Midokura platform.
Yeah.
And at the same time, this is totally impromptu. I just came up with this yesterday, talking to people around here. But I believe that we do need to have something to control the physical network fabric, even if we're using overlays. And right now, Quantum doesn't actually offer anything like that. So I think it would be a good idea if we were to incorporate features for the operator to be able to manage the physical IP fabric as well.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean OpenFlow. It doesn't mean central control plane. But right now, there's nothing. So something in between would be good.